Hello everybody. In this video, I want to share with you some game options that you need to consider when you are playing a Quizizz game with your students. So I'm going to click on this little China quiz here. And of course, the game options give you the choice to choose either homework or a live quiz, classic or instructor pace. So I usually do classic. And then this is going to be a game together in class that we're going to play. I'm going to have it up on the screen, and it's going to be a live game. All right. So test, classic, or team. Test mode, students need to have an account that they need to log in with. So they need their own account. So you need to make sure you have permission to do that. They can use sign in with Google. Team mode splits the classes into teams randomly, and classic. So classic is usually the ones that I use, and it also underneath here it kind of tells you what to expect with each one. So I use classic mode. Let's take a look at the general settings. Here is probably the most important thing I wanted to share with you. If this is not chosen, then students have the ability to put their own names. And I'm a junior high teacher, and you probably know junior high boys in particular. Sometimes if they have an opportunity to do something sneaky or silly or make fun of someone or do something that they shouldn't, here's their chance where they could put in a name that would be questionable. Now, there is a filter on here that picks up a lot of bad names, but you know, they're very creative, and or they'll call someone a bad name or something. So anyway, it's just a lot of trouble to let them pick their own name sometimes. They complain about it, but I highly recommend, especially if this is for middle school age kids, to click Name Factory. That way it gives them these names, you know, running horse and flying bird and all kind of weird names like that or whatever. So I highly suggest Name Factory be selected for you. Show answers during the activity. If this is a game and you're wanting them to learn and get better, then I would say yes, leave the answers on. Show the answers after activity. Sure, leave that on. This is a premium selection here. Redemption question makes it a little more fun. If you have that off, then it doesn't give them, if they miss one, if you have it on, if they miss one, and it gives them a chance to make up a question that they missed, an extra life, just extra little bells and whistles if something goes wrong for them during the game, to give them more incentive not to give up. Okay, extra life, give participants one more chance to get some type of questions right. And power-ups are also opportunities for bonus points and things like that. So they generally like power-ups. So if you're playing a game mode, if you have these redemption question, extra life, power-ups, these things here give the kids some extra reason to be excited about playing the game. The default timer is usually on. You can turn it off, but if it's a game and you don't want kids staying there forever trying to make their choice, I would leave the default timer on for a live game. All right. Student live reactions is a new thing that they came up with. It basically allows them to clap, and they do their little mouse button and they clap. They like it, but it's very annoying as a teacher. And I had students that were doing live reactions when the code was up on the screen, and they were clapping so much that you couldn't even see the number because all of the little hand claps were flying across the screen. So, you know, you use that one as you see fit. I find that it kind of gets in the way. So I have student live reactions turned off. Leaderboard for a game is fine. You could, you know, we don't want to embarrass students if they're doing poorly. And remember, now, if we do the Name Factory, then if we show the leaderboard and they're doing poorly, then as long as the students don't share their names, then if they're doing poorly and that they're at the bottom of the leaderboard, then nobody will know who they are. Okay, so that's something to consider. I would also recommend leaving shuffle questions turned on. That way they can't look at their neighbors and get the answers, and answer options also. So shuffling the questions and answer options is a way to keep the questions mixed up, and that way they can't look at their neighbors to find out the answer. If you leave this turned off, if you have your music, if you have the game on your big screen or your uh, uh, new line panel. We have new line panels at my school. It's like a big giant TV set basically with a built-in computer. But if you leave that turned off and just leave it turned on your main device for your classroom, you don't want every single kid having music on at their own device, right? And the memes is probably the funnest part. I did make an earlier video on how to make your own custom memes. If you have a new meme set that you really like, you could pick that or just leave it on random and it'll just shuffle through them. So check out my video I made previously on how to make your own memes. And I would say that that is pretty good for a live game. Let's take a look at this. We'll go ahead and click continue. Okay, so the music pops up for a second. So to play this quiz, students would go to joinmyquiz.com. They would put in that code right there, and you would see the students' names start popping up with all the running horse and leaping lizard type names and things. And then once everybody's in the game, you just click start, and you have a live game. So it's pretty fun. And those are some game settings that I think you might consider to use for your own students in your own game. All right, thanks for watching.